It is said that our ancestors knew a lot more about the energy of the Earth and the universe than we do today. And I definitely believe in that theory because a lot of ancient sites are built on what some believe to be ley lines or locations that have some sort of energetic anomaly. And I think that our ancestors, well, they were just more in tune with the universe than we are today. There are stories of shamans, witch doctors, medicine men capable of traversing into different planes of consciousness. Some of them would say that while in a trance-like state, they at times would meet higher dimensional beings, who they would call teachers or guides. And these guides would give them information or advice, and even on rare occasions teach them how to physically travel into another dimension by showing them locations to portals here on Earth, and also how to activate these portals. In 1921, an amateur archaeologist, Alfred Watkins, made a discovery. He noticed that a lot of ancient sites throughout the world fell into a pattern, usually a straight line, and he named these lines leys, then they later became known as ley lines. And at the time, most scholars thought that this idea was ridiculous. But today, more and more people are starting to believe in this theory, that there are locations throughout the world that have mysterious energy fields that science has yet to explain. In a lot of my videos in regards to mysterious locations, there does seem to be some sort of unknown force at work, such as compasses don't work or electrical equipment just goes haywire, things like that. So I do agree with this theory that there are areas that have anomalies. And some paranormal researchers believe that certain people can tap into or harness this energy, such as shamans and witch doctors. One story that I want to talk about today happened when the Spanish went to Peru to steal the Inca's gold. And legend has it a holy man running from the Spanish used a sacred key at a place known as the Gate of the Gods. And this key opened up a portal, and after he walked through it, he was never seen again, making this a very interesting legend. Now if you look at the structure, it does kind of look like a huge doorway, and it does lie on a ley line. Visitors to this location say that they can feel unusual energy, especially when they place their hand on this carved structure. Interesting indeed. Now most of us would assume that this legend involving the holy man is nothing more than just a story, an interesting story but definitely not true. But in 2015, NASA said that it's possible that there could be areas on our planet that can instantly teleport human beings from one place to another. And they have been studying this. In 2015, NASA launched a program in hopes of finding and studying these portals, which is just mind-blowing. And if they do find any of these portals, I doubt that they will let us, the public, know about it. There's also believed to be a portal in the Bermuda Triangle, due to there being just so many strange disappearances there. The most famous being the disappearance of a whole squadron of 5 planes while on a training mission. It was written in an article a couple years after that one of the pilots said, "We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We do not know where we are." They also stated that their compasses were not working, and still to this day, nobody knows what happened to them, making this one of the biggest paranormal cases of the 20th century. Another account happened in 1918 when the USS Cyclops, the Navy's biggest fuel ship at the time, left from Brazil to Baltimore. Now when they left the dock with 309 people on board, there were no signs of any bad weather or anything like that. And when sailing through the Bermuda Triangle, they just vanished. And still to this day, after many search parties and expeditions, there have been no signs of the crew or this massive ship. But what makes this case stand out is that there wasn't any communication on the radio. No distress signals, nothing, making some believe that they somehow entered into a different dimension or a parallel universe. Another amazing case, and one of my most favorites, happened when a pilot flying from the Bahamas to Florida in a small plane with 2 passengers saw a storm on the horizon. So the pilot tried to fly around the storm, but he wasn't able to. And while flying within the storm, he saw a small gap, so he flew towards it. And after he flew into this gap, he saw that he was now in some sort of tunnel, and the clouds were circling around the plane. And this really freaked him and the passengers out. They were scared, they'd never seen anything like it before. At one point, the pilot felt that he was in zero gravity, like he was flying in space. He just couldn't explain it. Now, just like what happened with the 5 military planes, Flight 19, his instruments went haywire and the plane was no longer visible on radar. Then when they finally made it out of this tunnel, the pilot over the radio was told that he was just now picked up on radar again. And to his shock, he was also flying over Miami, which was impossible. He shouldn't have reached Miami for another couple of hours, making this an amazing paranormal case. Even Charles Lindbergh experienced something similar back in 1927, and he didn't tell anybody about it until 40 years later. Now, because there have been so many strange disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle, this is why so many people believe that there could be a portal somewhere in this location. Another mysterious place is Sedona, in Arizona. The Native Americans in this region say that the red rocks in this area can create vortexes and transport people to another realm or dimension. And the people that live here do say that the rocks do create strange sounds. The natives believe that somewhere hidden in this area is a stone arch, and if you walk through it, it will take you to another dimension, and this stone arch is called the Doorway of the Gods. One account happened in the 1950s when a local tribesman told some treasure hunters that there is a famous story amongst his tribe. One day, 3 tribesmen were riding into the desert when they found a strange-looking stone archway, and when one of them walked through it, he disappeared right into thin air. And the 2 other men, scared to death, rode away believing that this must be sacred land and that they shouldn't be on it. Another account happened when another member of this tribe claimed to have stumbled upon this gateway while he was riding in the desert. And what really freaked him out is at this time it was dark skies and raining. But when he looked through the stone arch, the weather was different. It wasn't raining and the skies were blue. Now, a lot of people have searched this area looking for the stone arch, but as of yet, nobody has been able to find it. This is definitely a fascinating legend, and it's one that I would love to go investigate myself. Now, there are a lot of locations throughout the world that possess strange and paranormal phenomena. And when NASA said in 2015 that it could be possible for portals to be here on Earth, well, it makes some of us wonder if these paranormal locations possess a portal. And could this be the reason for all this paranormal activity? Whatever the case may be, there are many cases out there in regards to ships, planes, and people who have seemed to have just vanished right into thin air, making us wonder what the heck happened to them. Until next time, this is Paranormal Junkie. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.